Welcome to the deep dive. You know that feeling, right? You're perpetually busy, putting in long hours, but still feel like you're maybe just running in place.
Yeah, it's super common, that sense that all the effort isn't really moving the needle like it should.
Exactly. Well, you've probably heard of the 80-20 rule, that idea about disproportionate results.
hmm
But what if the sources we looked at, the ones you shared, actually uncover insights that go way beyond the basics? Insights that could, like, redefine your whole approach, productivity, well-being, even learning.
That's really the core of it.
So that's our mission today. We want to give you a real shortcut to being truly informed about this concept, which actually has surprising depth and practical power.
It's that overwhelm, isn't it? The constant
Yeah.
distractions, the burnout, even when you feel like you're working harder than ever.
Right.
And the issue isn't always lack of effort. It's often, well, putting that effort in the wrong place.
Misdirected effort.
Okay. So today, we're not just touching on a principle everyone sort of knows. We're diving into what feels more like a blueprint, really. A blueprint for building a smarter, more intentional life.
A blueprint. I like that.
Yeah, a way to cut through all that noise, pinpoint where energy is being wasted, and actually get your valuable time back. We've pulled out the most important nuggets from your sources, ready to explore what they show us.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Because when you think productivity, the usual advice is always do more, hustle harder, right? Maximize every single minute.
That's the narrative.
But here's where it gets interesting. The origin of the 80-20 rule, it's kind of surprising, and it actually points to a truth that flips that whole idea on its head.
It really does. This rule, which we see applied everywhere now, was first spotted by an Italian economist, Vilfredo Pareto, way back in 1896.
1896, wow.
Yeah, and he just noticed something specific. 80% of Italy's wealth, owned by just 20% of the population. But what's amazing is how that specific observation turned out to be this universal pattern. It pops up everywhere, all through life, often totally without us realizing it's happening.
And once you start looking, you really do see it everywhere. Your sources kept pointing this out. Like, think about stress. Maybe 80% of your stress comes from just 20% of your problems. Those
Yeah.
few recurring things you keep putting off.
Right. Or, on the flip side, happiness.
Yeah. 80% of your happiness probably comes from just 20% of your relationships, that small core group.
Definitely. And at work, it's huge there.
Oh, totally.
Okay.
80% of your actual results.
Right.
Likely generated by only 20% of your tasks.
It's pretty staggering when you frame it like that.
And even income, 80% of your income might be coming from just 20% of your efforts. It's powerful stuff.
Which leads to a really big question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The dilemma is most people are kind of busy being busy. They're focusing on that 80% that honestly doesn't contribute much.
Right. They feel productive, but
Exactly. Meanwhile, there's this smaller group, maybe the 20%, who are quietly focusing their energy on what actually drives progress. They move forward while others feel stuck.
So the question for you listening is, are you ready to maybe stop wasting time on the less important stuff and really focus on what moves the needle?
Are you ready to make that shift?
It can feel like a big question, thinking about all the parts of life, but what if, based on these sources, this principle applies directly in 4 key areas, making the path forward maybe clearer than you think?
Yeah, let's break it down.
Let's explore where 80-20 really makes a difference. Okay, first up, work and career. This one can be, well, pretty revealing. Let me ask you to think about something. All those tasks you do every day at work, 20, 30 things maybe?
Yeah, the endless list.
How many of those truly advance your career or really contribute to your most important goals? The tough reality, like your sources suggest, is often only about 20%.
Just 20%.
Yeah, the rest. It keeps you busy, sure, but might not be actually helping you grow.
And this points to a kind of brutal career reality. Most people spend 80% of their time on low-impact stuff.
Like what?
Like routine emails, endless meetings, just general busy work. It feels productive, fills the day.
Right, you feel like you're doing stuff.
But it doesn't really increase your value or move you up. Then you contrast that with the 20% who really excel. They consistently focus on high-impact activities.
Activities that directly link to results.
Exactly. Things that impact revenue, solve big problems, build key relationships.
It's such a subtle but huge difference in where energy goes. Like, imagine this. You're meticulously clearing your inbox, feeling good about it.
Inbox zero.
Right. But meanwhile, a colleague is, say, building a relationship that lands a huge new project and gets them promoted.
Or, while you're prepping for the standard weekly meeting, someone else is heads down on a core project that brings in serious money for the company.
It's all about where the focus lands.
So it's crucial to understand what those high-leverage activities are, those 20% career activities.
Okay, what are they typically?
Usually things like projects directly hitting the bottom line, building relationships with decision makers, developing skills that make you basically irreplaceable,
Irreplaceable skills. Good one.
and creating systems that solve big recurring problems for the company.
We saw a great example in the sources, Sarah, a marketing manager.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
She realized 80% of their leads came from just 2 out of 10 marketing channels.
Only 2.
So instead of spreading thin across all 10, she just went all in on those 2.
Smart, focused.
And in just 3 months, leads up 300%. And yeah, she got promoted.
Makes sense.
So here's a little reflection for you listening. Maybe list out the tasks you did yesterday. Now circle the ones that directly impacted your income or advancement. Is it less than 20% of the list? Might be time for a rethink.
A little self-audit.
Okay, let's shift gears. Relationships. This area is obviously deeply personal. You might have lots of people in your life, family, friends, colleagues, acquaintances.
A wide circle.
But it's often true that a huge chunk of your emotional energy, maybe 80%, gets drained by connections that don't really feed your happiness or growth.
That points to a really common way we mismanage our relational energy. You know, we try to give equal time to everyone, maybe out of obligation, fairness.
Right. You feel like you have to.
But the downside is, while you're trying to please everybody, you might be neglecting that vital 20% of relationships, the ones that truly fuel your soul, support your dreams.
The ones that actually give back energy.
Exactly, the ones that contribute positively.
And here's a pattern that often shows up. 80% of your stress might come from just 20% of your relationships.
Oh, definitely, those few difficult ones.
Yeah. And conversely, 80% of your deep joy probably flows from just 20% of your connections.
The really supportive ones.
Same for personal growth.
Yeah.
80% might come from 20% of your influences, and 80% of real support from 20% of your circle.
It forces some hard questions.
It really does. Like, who do you call first with amazing news? Who truly believes in you, even when you're doubting yourself?
Who leaves you feeling energized, not drained?
Yeah. And who would you trust with your deepest secret? Those are probably your 20%.
And what's clear from people who manage this well is they are intentional. They learn to say no politely to draining interactions.
That's hard saying no.
It is, but it's crucial. And they say a wholehearted yes to the relationships that empower them. They get that idea that your network determines your net worth, and that's not just financial.
Right, it's emotional mental wealth too.
Absolutely.
So here's a quick experiment for you. For 1 week, just track how you feel after interacting with different people. Energized or drained, inspired or frustrated, supported or criticized.
The patterns might actually be pretty shocking when you pay attention.
It's powerful.
And the underlying truth here is simple. You just can't serve from an empty cup. You have to stop pouring your best energy into relationships that don't uplift you.
Choose where you invest.
Exactly. Invest deeply in the ones that truly matter.
All right, next up, health and fitness.
Ah, big one.
Yeah, and here's a perspective that really pushes back against the usual fitness industry noise. You know, they often sell complexity.
Oh yeah. Complex plans, expensive stuff.
Exactly. Crazy meal plans, tons of supplements, grueling 2-hour gym sessions 5 days a week.
Like you need all of that to see results.
But the sources suggest a much simpler truth. 80% of your health results, they often come from just 20% of your efforts.
It highlights this big difference in approach. The industry sells complexity, but the genuinely healthiest people, they often thrive on simplicity.
Mastering the basics.
Right. It's easy to get overwhelmed trying every new workout or diet fad. But people who sustain health, they nail the fundamentals.
So what is that critical 20% that changes everything in health? It's actually, well, pretty basic.
Surprisingly simple, usually.
Like sleep. Getting 7-9 hours of quality sleep consistently, that can beat almost any supplement or crazy workout.
Foundational.
And movement. Just 20 minutes of brisk walking daily often gives more long-term benefits than hitting the gym hard twice a week and then doing nothing.
Consistency over intensity sometimes.
Totally. Nutrition. Eating real whole foods 80% of the time. That gives huge results. A&D allows for 20% flexibility so you don't feel totally restricted.
Sustainable.
And stress management. Even just 10 minutes of daily mindfulness or meditation, incredibly effective for mental well-being.
And there's solid science behind this. Harvard studies, like those mentioned in the materials, consistently show focusing on these for sleep, movement, whole foods, stress management gives you like 80% of all the possible health benefits.
80%, just from those 4.
Yeah. Everything else is really just optimization, fine-tuning, after you've got the basics down.
So the common mistake isn't usually lack of willpower, it's trying to do too much at once.
Exactly. We overwhelm ourselves with complexity when simplicity is actually the key to making it stick.
So the practical takeaway.
Yeah, the practical approach is don't try to change everything overnight. Pick one. Just one of those 4: sleep, movement, nutrition, or stress.
Okay, one at a time.
Master it for 30 days,
Yeah.
make it a habit.
Yeah.
Then once it feels solid, think about adding another. That's how you build real, sustainable health, not a quick fix.
Built to last. Okay, final area. Learning and skills. The mastery shortcut.
Ooh, I like this one.
Yeah. Here's the secret of people who learn fast. They don't try to learn everything.
Right, they're selective.
They figure out the 20% of fundamentals that give 80% of the results, and they hammer those first. Master them.
This really contrasts with a lot of the learning industry, doesn't it? Online courses often promise these massive, comprehensive programs covering every tiny detail.
Yeah, the ultimate guide to everything.
Right, but the smartest learners, they kind of instinctively know to focus on the core stuff first, the things that unlock everything else.
Let's make that concrete, some 80-20 learning examples.
Yeah, like languages.
Okay, languages. Focus on the 1,000 most common words. That can give you around 80% comprehension pretty quickly. Lets you actually start talking.
Huge leverage. Or cooking.
Cooking. Master maybe 10 basic techniques. Sautéing, roasting, braising, whatever. Suddenly, you can make hundreds of different dishes.
It's the foundation.
Music.
Music. Master 4 basic chords on a guitar or piano. You can literally play thousands of popular songs.
4 chords.
Yeah. Business. Understanding core marketing and sales principles usually gives way bigger returns than knowing every tiny operational detail.
Focus on what drives growth. Coding.
Coding, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, like 20% of programming concepts can solve 80% of the problems you'll actually run into day to day.
So high achievers, they get this. They don't try to boil the ocean.
Good phrase.
They find that core, 20%, the bedrock, and they master it until it's second nature. Then they build complexity on that strong foundation.
So the learning trap many of us fall into.
Is trying to learn too much at once?
Yeah, jumping between courses, books, never really mastering the basics. You feel like you're learning, but you're not really progressing deeply.
You get that feeling of surface level knowledge everywhere, deep knowledge nowhere.
So the breakthrough approach here is, whatever skill you want, spend maybe 30 minutes just figuring out the absolute core fundamentals, the essential basics.
Okay, identify the core.
Then focus only on mastering those until they're automatic. Then add complexity. This focus can seriously compress years of learning into months.
Wow, okay. That covers the 4 areas. Powerful stuff.
Really is.
All right, now this is where we pivot. From insight to action.
The important part.
Right, because we've talked about a lot of cool knowledge, but knowledge without action is, well, it's just entertainment, really.
Just interesting ideas.
So I'm about to lay out a 30-day challenge. And if you genuinely commit, this could completely transform how you approach everything.
And this addresses that common hurdle, right? People get motivated listening to something like this.
Yeah, feel fired up for a bit.
And then pretty quickly, they slip back into old habits. The excuses come out. No time. I'll start tomorrow. Waiting for the perfect moment.
The perfect moment myth.
Exactly. But truth is, there are no perfect moments, only decisive ones. And this challenge, it's an invitation to make a decisive move.
Okay, let's hear it. The 30-day 80-20 transformation challenge, broken down week by week, specific actions for you.
Let's go.
Week 1, the powerful audit. Okay, first 2 days, day 1 and 2. Track everything you do for 48 hours, and I mean everything. Work, free time, interactions.
Let the raw data, be honest.
Days 3 and 4. Based on that tracking, identify your high-impact 20% in those life areas we talked about: work, relationships, health, learning. Be ruthless. What really moves the needle?
No wishful thinking, just the facts of where your results come from.
Biz 5, 6, and 7. Now consciously eliminate or delegate 3 low-impact activities, just 3 to start. This means you'll have to practice saying no.
Saying no is key here, freeing up that energy.
Okay, that's week 1. Week 2, the focus shift.
Right.
Now you double down on those 20% activities you identified. Make them your absolute priority. Non-negotiable.
Protect that time.
And practice saying no again. Say no to at least 2 new requests this week that don't align with those priorities.
Building the no muscle.
Yeah. And batch similar tasks. Group your emails, your calls, your focused work into blocks. Maximize that efficiency.
Smart. Minimize context switching.
Week 3, the optimization phase.
Okay, checking progress.
Exactly. Start actively measuring your results from focusing on the 20%. What's actually improving? Be specific.
See what's working.
Adjust your approach based on that data. Maybe one activity is giving even more leverage than you thought. Lean into it.
Fine-tuning.
And start creating simple systems or routines to maintain those high-impact activities. Make them easier to keep doing.
Lock it in. Make it sustainable.
Which brings us to week 4, the mastery lock-in.
Making it stick.
Solidify those new 80-20 habits. Make them part of your default routine, daily and weekly.
It becomes the new normal.
Plan how you'll maintain this focus long-term. What checks and balances will you use?
Thinking ahead.
And finally, identify the next area where you can apply this 80-20 thinking. Keep the momentum going.
Always looking for the next leverage point. Okay, so to help with this daily.
Yeah, daily tracking is important.
Integrate these simple daily tracking questions into your routine. Maybe end of day.
Good idea. What are they?
First, what were my actual 20% activities today? The ones that truly moved me forward.
Okay, accountability.
Second, how much time did I realistically spend on high-impact versus low-impact tasks? Rough estimate.
Get a sense of the ratio.
And third, what's one thing, just one thing, I can eliminate or delegate tomorrow to free up more time for what matters?
Continuous improvement. Love it.
Just those 3 questions daily can keep you incredibly focused.
Okay, so that's the challenge. And here's the promise. If you actually do this,
Not just think about it.
right, if you actively implement these steps, you will see a significant improvement, maybe 50%, maybe 200% in your key metrics within 30 days.
Tangible results.
Yeah, whether that's income, fitness progress, relationship quality, learning speed, you'll see a difference.
But the choice always is action. Are you going to be in the 20% who take action or the 80% who just consume the content and stay put?
It really boils down to that. This deep dive is for bridging that gap.
So as we wrap this up, just reflect on what really separates people who get extraordinary results from those who feel stuck, right? Overwhelmed, busy.
Yeah.
The 80-20 rule, it's not just a cool idea. It's really the difference between living a life of reaction versus a life of intention, purpose.
So this is that moment, your decision point. You have a choice right now. You can finish listening, feel good about learning something new, and then just go back to the old ways.
The comfortable path.
Or you can decide that today, right now, this is the day things start to shift. Remember those core truths. 80% of results from 20% of effort.
Most people focus on the wrong 80%.
But you now have the tools to choose differently. That 30-day challenge, it starts whenever you decide now is...
And think about this. You have the exact same 24 hours in a day as everyone else. Everyone.
The great equalizer.
The only difference, the real secret, is what you choose to do with those hours. So the invitation is clear. Stop just working harder. Start working smarter.
Okay, your immediate action step. Right now. Pause this if you need to.
Do it now.
Grab your phone, a piece of paper, whatever. Write down one specific thing. Just one thing you learned from this deep dive that you will implement this week.
Make it concrete.
Taking that single step, that's the catalyst. That's what starts the real transformation. Do it now.